So after I left the church, I started doing a lot of really hard work to heal. And that's what I mean. Like, I needed to know who I am without these approval ratings. I needed to know who I am without the straight A's. Like, if I stopped being the perfect person, uh, am I worth keeping around? Like, why is my worth so tied to these? And how can I become myself? Just having my worth be on the fact that I am. That's why I like the phrase I am in the Bible, and how Jesus used I am so much, because I think the invitation is to be, to just be, to be fully and completely the image of divinity that we have been created in. And I cannot do that if I am performing for approval, if I am performing for somebody else to tell me that I get to be. So I started doing that, and the person that I am today takes very, very good care and is very, very acquainted with the child that I was. And we have conversations, and I care for her, and I remind her that she did a lot of things because she didn't feel safe, but she's safe now. So I talk, for instance, about how I learned to lie a lot when I was a little girl because I was so afraid of my mom. And so I became a really good liar. And I held a lot of judgment for myself when I became a more intense Christian and I was a pastor, because I had been such a good liar and I still had this tendency to lie. Until I learned that my child self didn't lie because she was bad or because she was a sinner, but because she was unsafe. And so now I don't lie anymore, because, or when I do lie, sometimes I still lie. I've told the story about how I lied to my doctor because I needed to be safe. And so I hold myself with a lot of compassion, and I love my child self and myself now, because I'm very acquainted with my child self. I've known her, I've sat with her, I've talked to her, I've asked her a lot of questions about the ways in which she saw herself, and a lot of the internalized messages that she got from people and that became her. A lot of the voices that told her who she was and who she wasn't. And so now I hold a lot of compassion, and I love myself really well, because I want that child self to be as safe and as free as she can be within me, if that makes sense.
It's funny, I was having a conversation. I was just, I was getting prayed for and everything like that. And these people, then mind you, they're strangers. I don't know if you ever just walked up on somebody that's just praying, like they were having like Bible study at I think it was 11 o'clock at night. Different Columbia, Maryland. There's a Columbia, Maryland. These guys were like praying and stuff. And one of the things they said to me was, you need to forgive and love that child version of yourself because you keep abandoning them. Y'all don't know me from a can of paint. You don't know what you're talking about. But then even stuff that they were saying was kind of like in tune to like things I've talked about with my therapist. It's funny, like in our adulthood, we have to almost, the way that my therapist describes it's like, that kid in the back seat, like you have children. So if your kid's carrying on in the back seat, you can only ignore them for so long. You have to acknowledge them at some point, and they need to feel valued. They need to feel safe. They need to feel loved. They need to feel validated. They need to feel like that they're not just saying and making all these obnoxious noises, but they're just doing their best to communicate with whoever their caretaker is, essentially what they want. So I definitely get that aspect.
I used to meet me with so much judgment, and now I love me. I don't meet me with judgment. I meet me with compassion, because I can see that the choices that I made were choices that I was making to keep myself safe. In fact, I meet me with not just compassion, but also I celebrate me, like we kept ourselves safe with very limited tools. We kept ourselves safe, and there is a journey of reparenting that we have to go through, and now you have more tools, so you get to do better, and you get to reparent yourself and look at yourself with compassion and say, I see you, I know what you went through, it was painful, it was hard, and we don't have to be there again. We're safer now. We both are safer now, and create a safer environment for my children. So when my children lie to me, I don't get mad at them. I apologize to them, because they are lying to me because they are not safe with me. It's not safe for them to tell me the truth. So I apologize to them, and I ask them, like, is there anything that I can do to make it safer for you to be able to tell me the truth? And I forgive me, because I haven't made it safe enough for you to feel like you can tell me the truth. So that changes everything. They are going to have so many more tools, because they are not going to meet themselves with a lot of the judgment that I met myself with. you know?
Beat up like Hitmonchan, GV, that's my clan. I abuse ya. I'm that Kaya Super with them kicks like Hayabusa. While I snap the neck off of Satan, while he nod his head to this music, we the movement, good vibes sent by God, we the truest.